What's up, guys? This is Corey Baker from Baker Forge and Tool. In my business, we do tons of heavy grinding every single day, and we needed a grinder that could take abuse and keep on trucking without slowing down billet production. The Ameribraid variable speed 2x72 is just that. All heavy-duty parts and framing with well-thought-out accessories that are easy to use and not bogged down with lots of tiny parts. By far, the best accessory item that Ameribraid sells is their surface grinding attachment. It is absolutely foolproof and the best in the industry. With quick-release magnet system, there is no prying your workpiece off the platen. Very fast to slap a billet or a knife onto the table, engage magnets, and start surfacing with precise increments. On top of all of this, their customer support is outstanding. Eric and Kevin are always available and fast to help with any situation. If you're in the market for a top-of-the-line grinder, or maybe just an accessory to add to your existing setup, go to ameribraid.com and use the code HUSTLE100 for $100 off any grinder package. All right, next up, the Hustle and Grind podcast.
I accidentally hit it early, but that's all right. Let's do this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hustle and Grind Fleabag podcast. We are here. It's me, it's Ryan, and it's Pickle.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of ridiculous debauchery. This is already been an interesting show, and it hasn't really even started yet. Pickle, how you doing?
Not too bad. Yourselves?
Good. We haven't.
I'm just
This is
thrilled to be
weird.
here.
I know, right?
It's like deja vu.
Feels like I've been here before.
Yeah. For the new listeners, which is about 40% of you, Pickle was previously a co-host on this show.
Yes, I was.
Before I was.
Yes.
Weren't you guys? You guys were actually hosting at the same time for a while there, weren't you?
Yeah, we did for a short bit there. We were 3 hosts at one point.
Yep.
And then Pickle decided that snowboarding was more important to him than
I was chasing storms.
gracing the beautiful listeners with his voice.
Yeah, and the recordings used to be on Thursdays rather than be on Sundays too, so that was a little less accommodating for my snowboarding season. So I'd taken a hiatus, they call it, or whatever they do when people stop their band for a couple of years and then they come back, like Rage Against the Machine did. I kind of did that, but when I came back, I was like, yeah, no, this is a full-time podcast gig wasn't my jam really. Like I did it.
There was no perks either. You weren't getting paid. You know what I mean? There was no.
No, nothing was happening. Like it wasn't going to nothing. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to get into detail, but yeah.
Sounds like a bunch of excuses, really, is what I'm getting from this.
Jesus, Noah.
No. Don't be so judgmental, Noah.
Yeah, we don't bring people on just to trash.
I know,
them.
right? What is this?
What the fuck?
Usually I try and make our guests sound as good as possible, but all bets are off when we got Pickle
Throw
up in
me
here.
right under the fucking train.
Man, I do not support the direction that this show's taking already. Just so
all
you
right,
know,
let me do the intro.
Everybody, calm down here. Pickle, let's class things up a little bit. What you been up to this week, bud?
Not much, man. I've been back from Florida for actually 1 week today. Once you guys be listening to this, it'll be 9 days. But yeah, I've been back for a week now. Catching up on orders in the shop. Actually, I had some steel to make, and then I had a bunch of knives to make. So I got that batch fresh out of the kiln last night, and everything was quenched and tempered and ready to go. So I got a bunch of grinding to do ahead of me. So that's what was up this week in my shop.
Right on, man. Well, how was that trip to Florida? Was there a bit of a temperature shock that happened when you got there?
Yeah, definitely. Not a shock. It was just more like this is so, like it was great. Like as much as they took me out of I left the country in the middle of winter, which has never happened before. To go down somewhere where it's nice and warm and like 80 degrees every day for 7 days straight and no rain, no snow, no nothing. I was like, what the, all right, I could deal with this. It's nice, but I was missing.
People live like this?
I know, right?
What the fuck?
I know. I got off the plane here and I was like, where's my hoodie? Yeah, but no, it was great. We had a blast down there. Helped them out quite a bit. Sure, every lending hand is a helping hand and is appreciated. So, like I said, I felt I had to pay my dues, so I offered to go down and give them a hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
I
on,
mean,
man.
the week right before you left, speaking of temperature, we had that cold snap where it was like minus 41 here and minus 51 where you
Yeah, it was
are.
like minus 56, and that's when I was supposed to originally leave, but it got so cold that there's equipment that broke down at the airport on the tower, and it was like 3 days before they got that fixed and up and going again, so they could land and depart.
Yeah.
So all I know about Florida is that there's a bunch of crazy stories that happen there, and that it's humid as hell.
It's not as
So
humid in the
like,
winter though, but in summertime, yeah, in
no,
the summertime it is. Like I was down there last summer, and it was fucking horrible.
well, what's the humidity normally like where you're at?
Uh,
Like even in the
in the
summertime?
summertime,
Bad.
it's a little bit of both. It's kind of balanced out. There's some days where it'll be really, really bad. There's some days it'll be really, really nice. It'll be dry, and we came and have like you came and put a fire, like have a fire in your fire pit because it's so dry, and no, there's none of that going on. So it depends. It depends really. We don't have the shores or anything nearby us. On the east coast of New Brunswick, yes, it does get more humid there, but where I am, we're pretty much in a good climate zone, if you want to say, for summertime.
Pretty
Yeah.
varied
Yeah.
then.
You must be better than me because we're 100% humidity all summer.
Yeah,
Call it muggy.
yeah, you guys are closer to the shore than I am. You're what, like an hour from
yeah.
the shore, so not even, I think.
Yeah. 45 minutes or so.
Yeah,
And
like 5 hours
it gets
from
what
the
we
shore.
call muggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black flies love the muggy
Yeah,
weather.
we got the black flies
Ugh.
too, and I got a fucking swamp right in my backyard, and I swear that's where they breed mosquitoes. So yeah, those two, the mosquitoes and black flies, do get bad here, anyways. But it only lasts like not even a month. It's like 3 weeks and it's done and over with.
Yeah, we have a bug season.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
We have a smoke season here. So like there's no such thing as humidity where I'm at in Washington. I know people think about Washington, they think about, rain and humidity, and that's where I used to live over on the other side of the
And the
mountains.
rainforest.
But I moved over here. Exactly. Yeah, it's actually technically a temperate rainforest. It literally is. And I moved out of there as soon as I could. And I live in central Washington now where it's very dry. I mean, we rarely get above 25% humidity, and that's what I need and able to just to be able to breathe. I can't handle the humidity at all.
Sounds like
But we have a
excuses.
smoke season. I'll accept that one. But we have a smoke season here because it's so dry. I mean, we're pretty well known for our forest fires, kind of the same as California, and so we get the last half of summer and it's just smoke. It gets real bad. I don't know what's worse, humidity or smoke, but I seem to handle the smoke better. So
I don't know, man. When I lived in Northern California for 2 years and fire season, that you'd be rolling down the highway and just drive into like smoke that you can't see the fucking line in the road in front of you and then just come out of it randomly and it's like yeah.
that's what the recirc button's for, man. It's fine.
Yeah, my mom when I moved out there, she was freaking right out during fire season. Are you anywhere near them? I'm like 40 minutes away from the closest one. Sky glows red at night. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Yep. Yeah, we get that a
I've
lot.
seen like the sunsets, the night skies glow up here from forest fires, like that weren't even happening anywhere near here. Like further out and out west, and it affects our sky out here too. It was pretty nuts.
Yeah. It's cool looking. It gets up into the atmosphere and like spreads out like the light. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We
I
had
like
one a couple
the
years
climate
back.
there.
Come again?
I like the climate there. It was perfect. Never got below 45, never got above 95.
I've been to
It's
San
awesome.
Francisco, and that was somewhat okay, but I wasn't during like their rain period. But it's always like 65 there, and
Yeah, even the rain period's not bad because it's warm rain.
yeah,
It's not like cold. Like you go outside and it's like kind of nice and refreshing. You're like,
yeah.
I'll go for a walk. I don't care if I get wet.
Then I drove out to Northern California. I went snowboarding out in Lake Tahoe, like in June. That was pretty cool. And I did Mount Hood as well too, out west.
Speaking of June, Are you going to Blade this year?
99.99% sure, yes. Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out on that airfare ticket because that thing is ridiculous right now. It's going down a little bit every here and there, but it's like fucking $1,300 right now. Yeah,
Holy fuck.
compared to the $480 I paid to go down just last week. It's
Jeez, that's brutal,
yeah,
man.
dude. And it's actually cheaper for me to fly out. Like if I were to fly out from Quebec on those days, it would be cheaper to fly from Quebec than it is to fly from Maine. Like I don't understand it. Why is it $600 from Quebec, and why is it fucking $1,300 from Prescal? I don't get it.
Fly out of Bangor.
I was thinking about that too, but it's like $700, and I got to drive the same
No.
distance than flying to Quebec for driving to Quebec. I mean,
Yeah. You could just keep your car at my house
possibility. I could have
because they charge you at the
you
airport.
have you bring me to the airport at
Yeah.
like 4 a.m.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it.
all skunked out.
Ryan doesn't sleep anyway, so
Right,
it's fine.
sleep is a waste of fucking time. That's why I was sleeping
It's a
before we
crutch.
started this podcast.
We thought you were ghosting us for a second there. I was starting to look for replacements.
Dude, I was out solid. Like I said, my alarm clock went off and I fucking shut that thing right off and I passed right out again. And like I stood right up in bed at like 4 o'clock your time, like even I was like, shit.
Oh, well.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I wanted to be
It's
rested
okay.
and look at my best for this podcast. So
Well, we appreciate that.
yeah.
Ryan, what's been going on in your shop this
Yeah,
week?
Ryan.
I got a big ass bandsaw yesterday. Shout out to Jamie the Squid. Jamie's doing like he wants to do. Like, him and his family are going to drive cross country in an RV type deal, and he's going to do like a traveling blacksmith deal. So I bought a lot of his materials and stuff off him,
Yeah, you did.
and a big bandsaw. I bought like all his abrasives, his handle material, his bar stock, 5 gallons of quench oil, a motor, a VFD, and that bandsaw.
And you know what? I don't even think Jamie's ever made or finished a knife in his shop with those tools. He always took classes and was just like building up his tools and all that while he was learning from all these classes. And then once he was done, he was going to actually start working out of his shop. I think it's something like that. So those tools are probably like fucking new.
They're all brand new.
Yeah, because this is all shit he accumulated over the past couple of years. And I think the VA as well too.
Yeah.
So I don't know, something like that. So that's why.
He's a hell of a guy.
Yeah, I know. I've spoken to him before. Like he's invited me down to his place several times. Like I was supposed to go to Maker's Camp and all that jazz. And
I don't have any need for forging stuff, and he still has all of his forging stuff. He's got Bridgeport Mill. He's got fucking anything you can imagine. So if you're looking for something and you're within driving distance of Southern Maine, hit up Jamie the Squid. Jamie Blow.
I know he's sending out his
There we go.
motor and VFD to Darren at Stormlight.
Yep.
I sent him a grinder a while back, and then I'm sending him a drive wheel and a tracking wheel, and House hooked him up with some more stuff to finish off his grinder so he could get that up and running.
What's he need? I got a bunch of spare parts laying
Oh,
around.
he's good now. I
okay.
picked up everything he needed. Picked out everything he needed while I was down there, and we packed that up. Let that going.
Nice shriveled pickle that you got there. Pickle.
For the folks that can't see this and that won't see this because they don't watch the YouTube clip, I have a stress ball pickle, okay? My pickle is not hanging out.
We need to bump up the YouTube numbers.
How's that going?
Eh?
See, the thing is like, while I'm in the shop listening, I don't have time to watch. So like I notice I turn it on the YouTube, and honestly, like I don't pay attention to it because I have to sit there and watch it and pay attention to it. But as soon as it launches on Spotify, then I could let it play and I'm good. Like it's not like I have to pay attention to two things at once. So
we're at 51 subscribers.
Right on.
And it doesn't take me any extra time. It gives me the file with the audio file. It gives me the video file too, anyways.
on.
So it doesn't. It takes me 2 extra minutes to upload it to YouTube.
So why not do it, right?
Right, might as well. All you're gonna see is me chain smoking. Noah usually sitting in the dark. This is a brighter episode.
Yeah, he was coming on, and he wanted me to see that that chiclet smile of his.
The viewers might be actually a little confused because it looks like I'm just floating in air, but in reality, my chair is just camouflage. So if you can't see the chair, that's why.
You know what it actually looks like? It looks like you got that chair laying on its back on the floor, and you're sitting on it on your back, like literally laying on the floor.
Oh,
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Because you just see the wood background, like you don't see shop or
Right.
cabinets or anything.
So I recorded my basement. My basement is all wood paneling, and it's fine, I guess. I don't know. I it's just wood paneling everywhere, and
Got that rustic.
there's some brick over there. Yeah, whatever. Never mind.
That's-
You don't care about my basement.
All right, now off to Ryan. Ryan, what's your basement look like?
It's got a washer and dryer down there. That's where we keep the cat boxes,
Interesting.
so the cats don't stink up the house.
This is my basement. My apartment is in a basement, so yeah.
My basement floods every now and again, so we learned that the hard way, not to store anything down there.
Or you want to store it off the ground.
We went down there the first time our house flooded after we bought it in the basement, and there was 8 inches of water down there.
Oh shit!
Jeez.
And my wife had put everything down there. There was a carpet down there, but I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
it was a whole truckload of shit that went to the dump.
not cool.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh well.
I live
learned.
on a hill, so it's like a daylight basement. There's like a sliding door there. There's a window right here that I got blinds up.
The backside of the house is like the foundation is exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I always said, once I build my own place, my own shop, like I'm gonna have a bunker underneath my shop, well, my actual living space, and that's how the back is gonna be. Like the back of the shop's gonna be the front of my house, but it's gonna be underneath the
Nice.
shop. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
like it would a view over the river or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, I lucked out. The Columbia River's right over there, so you can see it right out the back. It's pretty
and why
awesome.
isn't it called Columbia River Forge or Knives, or why is it Entiat River?
Okay, so the Columbia River is right there, and the Entiat River is right there. So I live right where they come together.
Oh,
So, and the Entiat River is the one that you could see from my shop. You can't really see the Columbia from my shop.
they're kind of like that Beatles song. Come together.
Which one? Oh,
Yeah.
but it's next to me, not over me.
Yeah. Could be behind you.
It is right now,
Ooh.
technically.
Giggity.
Giggity. So,
For our
anyways,
listeners who haven't figured it out yet, there will be 0 technical information in this episode.
yeah. So if you're here after listening to the episode with Tobias Hangler, hoping to get some more great information on heat treating and techniques, now would be the time to turn the podcast off.
Only good technical information I have for you, I lost because I quit smoking. So every time somebody would ask me, how long do you do this or how long do you do that? It's like, smoke a cigarette, smoke a joint. Like now it's a joint, but the joints last way longer than a cigarette. So like my timing is off on certain things now. Like when I'm quenching a blade, not quenching, when I'm dipping a blade in ferric, I can't smoke that whole joint to wait to pull it out. But I was smoking a cigarette, so it was like 5 minutes, whereas a joint could be 20 minutes sometimes, or you just sit there and you forget it in the ferric.
I used to gauge how long I would cook meat on the grill by how long a particular cigar would last. So I'd be like, all right, yep, probably time to flip them. It's good now.
Measuring tool.
I haven't smoked a cigar in forever. I need to. It's been too cold outside.
I had one when I was down in Florida. Had a backwoods. Yes.
That's not a cigar.
Well, it is for me.
I'm just messing with you.
I like them. They're nice and juicy. tasty.
Yeah,
Backwoods
they're
are
sweet.
good.
Yeah, they're
They're sweet, man.
yeah,
I've smoked many backwoods, especially while fishing. That
Yeah.
was like, like a kind of like a crappy cigar. You don't care if it gets jacked up or anything. You can just kind of set it on a rock if you need to. Like, no big
yeah,
deal.
they come in handy around here for fishing when, especially during like the fly season and all that, like the black flies and the horse flies. You're just walking around puffing in a cigar to make smoke, to have a smoke screen around you so you don't get eaten alive and carried away by horse flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, horsefly bites are the
Oh, they
worst.
literally rip your skin right off, and you could see that skin dangling from their mouths when they're flying away. So it's pretty.
Legit.
Jeez.
Anybody who doesn't have horseflies, man, oh my god, you'll be at the beach, right, and you'll be wading through the water, enjoying yourself, and a fly will land on the back of your neck and literally take a chunk out of you. Fucking gone.
Yeah, that's why like
They're slow though. You can catch them. They're slow. They'll land on you, and you can grab them and just fucking give them the fuck you.
I could just imagine like all the moose and deer and all the like the wildlife that have to deal with them because they get it way worse than we do. Like they're you see them out in the wild and they're just standing there and there's a plume of fucking black horse flies just flying over them, eating at them. And they're just like wiggling their heads and their tails, like get off me, get off me.
Yeah, they're big too. I mean, a big one will be an inch long.
Yeah, they don't call them horse flies for nothing.
Yeah, they suck.
Wow.
What it is.
We don't have much for creepy crawlies, but we do got some bugs that'll bite you.
Yeah, they're way, in my opinion, like people get freaked out and grossed out over fucking June bugs, and it's like, are you serious? Like they're so harmless, like they can't do nothing.
Yeah,
They live like it takes them all these days to become something, and then they die after 30 seconds. So it's like,
yeah.
what are you guys so worried about June bugs? You should be worried about horse flies and shit like that.
I'll be like grinding or something, and I'll see one out of the corner of my eye moving, and I'll look at it. And yeah, you don't have a good day, fella. Like they don't hurt nothing. They don't eat anything. They don't get into anything. They just kind of scurry along the floor and go out in the grass. But they're big.
Yeah,
they're like 2 inches long.
Sound like a freaking helicopter when they're going by you.
Especially when they hit into my shop door, like the window is like a big window, and like I'll close the door because they start flying in and shit. And it's always funny because last year, I remember I had the forge going and the door open, and they go for light. They'll go right.
Oh, geez.
And I had June bugs flying right into the forge, all this forge, and I was like, you fucking dumbasses! Like, you got this whole world to fly around, and you choose to come through that door and throw yourself in my forge. Like, hooray! Good for you.
Well, speaking of forges, you got a new one.
Yes, I did. I very much did. That thing is amazing.
Is it as glorious as it looks?
Oh, dude, it's nuts. Like, seriously, like, it's, I've had how many? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 forges. This would be my 5th forge, like, including the one that I first made and then a homemade one I made too. But I've had a Devil's Forge, the Atlas Forge, 2 homemade forges, and then the Apollo Forge. It's probably going to be my last forge ever.
Damn.
Yeah, because it's just that thing's a tank. You guys all saw the video of Brent taking a hammer to the ribbon burner and how much it took to destroy that, right? So if a hammer and a chisel takes that much to destroy it, I don't see it sitting there in a forge being destroyed anytime soon. There's no impacts going on there, and the brick itself is completely replaceable. All you got to do is take 4 fucking nuts off the threaded rod, and you open that top up, and you could start playing around with your bricks. It's like Legos. It's very, very simple, easy to put together, and it's like I said, it's a tank. It's just all around well designed, and it's like I said, it's gonna be the last forge I get because I was pulling 20-inch billets out of that thing at full heat. If you're messing around with a single burner forge and you're trying to make billets that size, you got work for the day on you because you got to heat that thing up in like 3 or 4 sections. And that's very time consuming, right? So to me, the Apollo was definitely a game changer for my shop and my work. So yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Does it heat up billets as fast as it looks like?
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely. No, it doesn't take you a half hour to get anything up to heat. Like, a good 12 to 15 minutes tops. You give it another 5 minutes and you're ready to go. So you're up to forge welding temps in under 20 minutes. So,
From a
Nice.
cold forge.
excuse me?
From a
From a
cold,
cold
forge.
forge, yeah.
That's
yeah, once
awesome.
you get it lit and it warms up a bit and you could fine tune it, it's crazy. It's like hell in there. Like I put some bricks that my hard brick is not the 3200 whatever. It's like they're like 2300 degree rated. My hard brick, so I literally melted those. My floor is starting to melt in my forge pretty bad. Like after a few billets, like after 4 or 5 billets I've done, since. And yeah, it's literally melted. I got to get the proper brick for that. I was thinking of maybe coating it, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna
Jeez.
get the right brick. So it definitely does get hot. If it's gonna melt rated brick for 2300, like the soft
Yeah,
brick,
that's some serious,
like it's right there.
serious stuff.
It's forge welding temperature accessible. That's for sure. That's not a problem. and once it's up to heat,
Nice.
you could turn everything down a bit, like kick your air down a notch and get it nice and lean on fuel, and try to make it as much as of oxygen free environment, for that forge welding period and forging as well too. Because if you got oxygen running through that forge, like you're gonna get a lot of decarb compared to an oxygen free environment. So yeah,
Right on, man. Yeah, I definitely want to get one of those. I
Scale
almost got one with the first run, but I ended up scoring myself a new Ameribraid grinder
Yeah, you
instead.
did.
So that took precedence, unfortunately. But yeah,
I think
I've got that sucker up and running now.
there's still some left on that second drop. So if you guys are listening and
Is there
the
really?
second drop has still got some available. I think there's like 20 left. He sold 30 out of 50. Last time I checked, I think that's what it was at.
Nice.
Yeah, there's
Awesome. Well, yeah, if you guys are listening and you're interested in what Pickle's talking about there, go check out Housemade Industrial.
housemade.us.
Pick up one of those housemade.us.
Oui.
Those forges look amazing, and I will have one eventually.
Dude,
I don't know
seriously,
when,
like,
but I will have one.
I am so content with it, and like it's just so cool. Like just the looking at it, like I don't know how many times I've stood there and just looked at the thing, and I'm just standing there and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So nice to have.
Well, I mean, the dude put so much into it. Like you could tell,
Yes.
like when you're looking at it, like he worked hard to get it fine tuned. And I just love watching just the swirl of the way that flame goes around, and it's heating every part of that forge. You don't have any dead spots
from front to back, dude. It literally, there's not 1 inch of that forge that doesn't get any heat. Like,
yeah,
it's
that's
very
awesome.
evenly distributed throughout the forge. Like I said, I could put a full length bar in there and have like an inch hanging out at both ends, and it still gets hot on the ends because you got, it's coming out from underneath the doors. So with the doors and all that, it's just great. So he's got 14 left on this last drop. This last drop didn't go as quick as that first one did. That first drop, sold out within 8 hours. This one was dropped on Saturday before I left last week, and he's got 14 left. So still pretty decent. That's 36 forges he sold in a week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
sure.
that's incredible.
Yeah, it is. No, that's so yeah, he's definitely got something going with this forge. The doors are holding up pretty good too on my end. Like I said, I've been using it. The front door, I got a little bit of descaling going on, like some forge scale happening on the decarb on the door side, because like sometimes I leave it open for an instant. Well, actually, it's not just sometimes. It's every time I pull a billet out, I got the door open while I'm pressing it. So like that side of the door is getting exposed more to the heat and flame. But that's normal. It's going to carb up and scale up. But everything's holding up. And even if it were to completely fall apart on that side, the way it's built, all that refractory cement's going to be held together by all those tabs that go in towards the inside of that door. So, yeah,
Nice.
I'm not even worried about that. And that's a consumable part anyway. So, that even if I had to wait 2 years to change it, I would, it's okay. It beats buying a new forge.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the price point, it's $475. You get the whole forged shell and everything. Yeah, it might seem like a lot, but like I said, how many forges have I been through since I started this? I could have had this one forged from the beginning, and I'd probably still be running it 3 years later, no issues.
Right.
Yeah, I've melted 2 devil forges, like I've caved them in from the top. Yeah, yeah, and then I melted.
I'm in the
Then I
process of
melted the
doing that
roof
right
on
now.
my. I melted the top, the roof part on my homemade forge too. Like I only had clipper brick on the top, like the thinner stuff, and I was cranking when I got my press. I took that forge back out because I was working on a bigger billet, and I had that thing cranked on both burners. And then next thing I noticed, I looked down to look at the forge, like the steel at the billet, into the forge, and I see just like this glass drooping from the ceiling of the forge. Excuse me. So I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And it was just drooping in the back. I had a brick in the back too. And that literally just started sagging, and it just made a big ball of glass in the back end of the forge. The roof had a hole in it. Like I had to shut down operations because it was getting dangerous in there.
Damn.
So like I said, I've caved in 2 devil forges, and I melted a homemade forge. But this thing here is going to hold up to pickle abuse. Definitely.
He put out a reel yesterday or the day before where he put together one with like a fancy stand and everything.
Yes.
With Jason Knight's logo, his Be a Maker logo on the bottom, and that thing looked freaking sick. And he did the whole process of when you're putting it together and everything once you got it up on the top. And I mean, it's super simple design, and that thing looked absolutely killer. That stand was
the
awesome.
stand was amazing. Like that made me want to make something. Like it just like I like fabbing shit as much as I like making knives. So when I see shit like that, it's like I wish I had the shop to get it done in. Like I could get it done in my shop, but I'm like really crowded. So projects like that could be annoying, especially after you spent a week in Brian's shop and his welding table is the size of your shop. You know what I'm saying? Like that welding table alone, I was like, fuck, dude, this thing is amazing. It's huge. It's big. It's like I'm getting one made for me here by a local shop, and my welding table is going to be 2 feet by 2 feet because that's all the space I have,
Yep.
But yeah, I don't need much for a welding table. But like I said, if I'd have his in a shop like his, I'd definitely be all over projects like he's doing, especially with the mini mill he just brought in there, the Haas mini mill CNC milling machine. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, that thing is fucking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. And then we came up with a good idea while I was down there, and I'm just gonna bring it up real quick because I can't really bring it up and I ain't gonna say more, but you guys are gonna be blown away when this project comes out. Ooh.
Yeah, you were talking about that when you were on the WFI. I was really curious, but obviously I'm not going to ask you about it.
I'm just trying to build up curiosity and get everybody on the fucking edge of their seat. I mean, and when it does come out, everybody's going to be like, "Holy shit, what just happened?"
Do you know when?
No, absolutely not. I have no clue. I was hoping we could do it before Blade. Like he's got a lot on his plate. We drew everything up on paper, me and him, like my idea and like his add-ons to it, and then we had Brent and Kenny in on it as well too. The initial planning of the idea, and like I said, it's just a matter of time. That's going to come out eventually. It's going to be a great addition to functionality. Yes, let's just put it that way.
Right on. Well, cool. I can't wait, man. That's going to be awesome.
It's something that's.
Does it have?
Go ahead.
Does it have anything to do with a phone call I may have had with somebody?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, we're not putting PID controllers on grinders there, Brian.
Oh, it has something to do with a grinder.
Well, it has something to do with the grinder world, the knife making world. It has nothing to do with the forge. It has something to do, yeah, in the knife making world in general, yeah. Because when he was talking about the forge, I think, and a PID controller and whatnot.
Something similar, yeah.
I think so. I don't know. I didn't catch the whole conversation. I just said hi, Ryan, at one point. And that was it.
All right. Well, we can get off the unmentionables topic here. So yeah, I just wanted to talk real quick. I did get my new Ameribraid Fastback this week. I put out a reel of me kind of unboxing it and looking at it. I finally got my motor mounted up to. What are you laughing at?
It
Pickle?
looks like Ryan's jerking off.
Oh, I bounce my legs. I'm a leg bouncer.
All I see is this. I'm so sorry. No, I couldn't hold back. I was like, "What the fuck's he doing?"
I have to deal with that every single week. Every single week, I have to look at him doing that, and I haven't said a thing this whole time. And then you come on here once, and it's just like boom, comes right out of your mouth.
To be fair, it's been in the back of my mind since we started doing video because I'm a leg bouncer, and in every episode I'm like, it looks like I'm jacking off. I gotta stop. So if you go back and you watch, I without saying anything, I'll just randomly stop.
I know. As soon as I said it, you stopped. You're like, sorry.
Dude, my wife has to be like, Ryan, stop bouncing your legs. I'm like, my bad. I can't help it.
Oh, I'm tearing up over here. Sorry about that. No,
Oh my
I
god,
couldn't hold back anymore. I noticed it just then, and I was like, "What the fuck's he doing?" Yeah.
Oh my
Carry
gosh.
on. Ameribraid Fastback.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry, Kevin. Sorry, Kevin, if you're
Yeah,
listening
you
to
did
this.
a reel in your speedos unboxing it. I think you're saying.
Oh my gosh. So I put up. Oh my gosh, I can't recover from this. I put up a reel of me unboxing it and looking at it. I finally got my motor hooked up to it. I had a little bit of an issue because I was reusing my existing motor in VFD to set this thing up because I wanted to kind of do it a little bit on the cheap for the moment. So my motor, where it was mounted up to my Revolution, that face, because it's a face mounted on that style, it was stuck in that hole because the hole was
Very tight.
really a really tight fit.
Snug orifice.
My buddy CNC'd it out for me, and I couldn't get the sucker out of there. So I did the old mechanics trick where you loosen the bolts so that there's a gap, and you smack the bolts to smack it down. Well, I'm pretty sure it's aluminum housing. So I jacked up every single one of those threads on the face of that motor, which is fine because it's no big deal. I'm not going to face mount it anymore because the Ameribraid has the foot mount, and thankfully I had saved the foot mount from when I initially got the motor, so that was no problem, right? Well, then I get my Ameribraid set up, and on the Fastback, the motor is mounted a lot further back than on the Revolution, so my flat platen will not fit on that grinder. And the reason is because it's a 12-inch platen, which is one of the reasons I wanted it, is because I love that 12-inch platen. But there's not enough room. Like there's just not enough belt length to fit that platen. Yeah, you're hitting
when you put it in and
you're hitting the frame. Exactly. Sure. So I can't fit my flat platen on that grinder. So immediately I went and I ordered one of Ameribraid's flat platens. So hopefully that gets here as quick as the grinder did, because the grinder shipped super fast. I was amazed. Yeah, so I'm hoping that platen gets here soon. So because right now I don't have a flat platen. I can use I have a 10-inch wheel that fits in there no problem. I haven't tried my small wheel, but I'm sure that'll fit too. But at the moment I have no flat platen, and I've got 13 knives on order.
You only got
so
the frame. You didn't get the whole setup there. You just got the frame. You didn't grab.
Right, yeah, because I thought I'd be able to basically just modify all my. Because I have all my own attachments already. I was just gonna do the frame for now, and then kind of work my way through, and I would get their attachments kind of as I went along. So I'm kind of in a bit of a pickle right now. But yeah, so hopefully I can get that platen, and that's fine. There you go with the squishy pickle again. And as far as the grinder itself, it definitely has met my expectations for what I was looking for. Everything is really well made. I really like the fact that there's actually two knobs to, like, when you're tightening down either your work rest or your attachments, there's two knobs there to tighten it down. And there's little gussets on the outside of the frame. and the gussets are what's threaded. So as there's basically, you got your plate steel of the frame, and then there's a gusset on the outside that's replaceable, and that's where the threads are. So you don't have threads right up against the tubing where it goes in. You got that threading on the outside. So I thought that was a really nice touch. And I really like the fact that you got two of them, so you don't have to crank both of them. You don't have to crank one of them down. You can just kind of keep some nice, decent pressure on them. Their knobs are really cool. They make those in house. I really liked those.
You just like the knob.
Everything about it. I just like the knobs. They're really nice to grab onto. They tighten down easily. But yeah, it's a great machine. I love it.
Who doesn't love
Go
a
ahead,
good
Ryan.
knob?
Brian's all about knobs.
I mean, who doesn't?
Like when he designed his knobs, like that was a thing. Like Brian's all about knobs.
Oh yeah, and I bought his knobs too. I love those as well. So
I'm all about.
But anyways,
I got those.
So
wrench and whatever now. That's what I use.
Yeah.
Those are just so nice to use. The spring that
ahead,
you
Ryan.
pull and you could readjust, and you got the handle to torque everything.
Oh yeah,
Not on the Gen 5 now.
I got sick of knobs because I like my shit tight. So I took an old 3/8 ratchet and just welded a piece of threaded rod on it.
Yeah. There you go.
And I can reverse direction because it's a ratchet.
Yeah. That works.
So anyways, so grinders in the shop. So one of the things that I was going to talk about when I bought this grinder, one of the reasons I bought it was just to kind of let you guys know just how affordable it is to get into one of these Ameribraid machines. With a little bit of work, like if I had some 2-inch tubing, I could probably make this platen work. I just don't. I don't have any 2-inch tubing. I was going to modify my 1.5-inch tubing to fit it there. But the grinder frame itself, if you've already got a motor, a VFD, or a switch, if you got a single speed, I mean, with the Hustle 100 code, it's $675 out the door, and they do free shipping on orders over $300.
And
so
it comes assembled.
And it comes assembled and powder coated and ready to go. Like, it's really simple. Like, there are other companies out there that will send you some flat packed bullshit that you then have to assemble when you get there, and you might as well just buy a DIY grinder in the first place.
Right.
And this thing comes assembled, ready to go. Like I say, the precision is there, the quality is there. And for $675, I mean, there are other companies out there that are selling machines for twice that much. And they're not the same quality. I will say they are not the same quality. And the integrity and just hard work that these guys have at Ameribraid is what I'm into. And that's the reason I bought the grinder, was because I believe in these guys and I like the products. I want to use them. And so even if you did have to buy a new flat platen, the flat platen's $180. And then the, like I said, the grinder chassis itself, if you use our code, you're into it $855 and you're grinding. So, I mean, their get grinding package, if you don't have a motor or whatever, their get grinding package, which is just a basic set of everything that you'll need, and that includes a motor and everything like that, I think it's like $1,600. It's really affordable, and you can use that Hustle 100 code. And we just really want to support these guys, and I'm really looking forward to using it and getting some new different attachments that I can learn some new techniques on. I'm going to be doing integrals soon, so I'm fully on board with this, and just wanted to mention that while I'm
Integrals. You said integrals.
Integrale.
I got one of those I'm working on. I got to finish at some point. It's only going to make August.
I got an email the other day from Ameribraid. I have a goodie box on the way.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm excited.
You guys are doing pretty good with the show and sponsors and stuff like that. Like, that's pretty cool to see.
We're trying to grow it. Our growth since I took over has been about 40%.
Well, that's good. That's fucking good. At least it's going somewhere.
We're doing our best.
Thanks,
interesting. I give it a weekly listen, and like I'm not gonna say I miss the show, because like I said, full-time podcasting is not for me. I don't mind jumping on one once in a while, but and if ever you guys are in a pickle and you're short a host, like I almost was a missing MIA, not a host, but I was gonna say client, not a client either.
Yes.
I guess. Can I be your client? But no,
Oh
Yeah,
my
if ever
gosh.
you guys have an MIA guest, like I almost was, feel free to hit me up. I'm usually awake, but that wasn't the case today.
I know I didn't want to hit B Cone up again because he's saved us twice now.
Right? You're gonna owe him lunch or something after that.
But
All right. Well, just to make sure you're awake, last week we did a little game of this or that. So I kind of want to bring that back, and
Get
we're
back.
gonna it's a this or that. I'm just gonna throw out two things. You have no other options. You have to pick one of these two things. We're gonna do it fast pace and just see what happens. You ready?
Let's see what happens.
All right. Coke or Pepsi?
Neither. I don't drink soda.
No. I just said you have to pick one or the other, damn it.
You're fucked because you chose something I don't drink. But if anything, I guess Pepsi. I had a Pepsi float once when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is off to a great start.
that was the same one you asked Andrea.
Yeah, you
too.
did.
Well, I might have saved a couple questions because they're fairly, like middle of the road, sort of like,
Consideration
warm
that
up.
there's people that identify as non-soda drinkers. Okay, I'm offended.
Let's just say these are hypothetical questions, and if you were a soda drinker, Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Now that we've gotten that clarification out of the way, knives or snowboarding?
Snowboarding.
Surf or turf?
Turf.
Whiskey or vodka?
Vodka.
Plague of locusts or a molasses flood?
Molasses flood, man. Fuck. Yeah.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Pineapple on pizza or candy corn?
Pineapple on pizza. Fuck candy corn. That shit's nasty.
Yeah, that's not even.
Yeah, I don't even know why those things are in the stores. Fuck.
A month straight of darkness or a month straight of light?
Can I shoot myself? I'd go for light. I'd go for light, yeah. As much as I like the room dark and I sleep in the dark, like pitch black room, I'd go for, whatever, light, yeah.
City or country?
Country. Fuck that shit.
All right. Well, there we go.
Nothing else?
No, I don't want to like drone on forever, man. Now we know that you like molasses floods.
Yeah, over fucking locusts. So you can't eat. Well, you could probably get away with eating locusts, but like, I'd rather feel like
course
Homer
you can eat
Simpson
locusts.
floating down a fucking molasses river and sticking my hand in it and shoving it all over my face and be like, ooh, than having to worry about a locust trying to eat me as I'm eating other locusts,
This was supposed to be a choice between two bad things, not trying to tap into one of your weird fetishes. Like that's
it's
weird,
not
though.
a weird fetish. It's a wild imagination, young man.
Oh, that now that you say that, you're Canadian. I should have done like a
Canadian version of
maple
yeah,
syrup,
maple syrup.
a maple syrup flood.
Maple syrup bath or bubble bath?
Oh, jeez. Ryan, do we have an ad? Can we run an ad now, please?
We have 2 ads we got to run.
Let's
We'll
do one of them, please, for the love of God.
We'll do Lawrence first.
For it to start, he's like, I got 2 ads. Then crickets.
Hustle and Grind is sponsored by Maritime Knife Supply. Whether you're looking for steel, abrasives, handle material, forges, epoxy, or anything for making in general, Maritime Knife Supply has you covered. And in the US or Canada, they ship faster than the great Cobra chicken goosesses that their country is known for. Go to Maritime Knife Supply, and when you buy a 10-pack of belts, get 10% off. And tell them we sent you, eh?
Eh?
Go check out Lawrence.
Yes.
Lawrence is
Lawrence
the man.
is the best. Like, seriously, who can you EM on Facebook at any given time of a day? It could be like 2 a.m. I'm not saying go ahead and do that, but sometimes I'm up that early in the morning because I don't sleep sometimes, and I'll be like going through shit, and then I was like, oh, can you either get this or can you, like sometimes I don't even put orders in. I just tell him what I want, and he sends me an invoice, and then it shows up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even go through the website. I just like the other day I needed a bar steel for Todd's cleaver, and I put an order in for that, and then I was like, oh, like 4 hours later, I was like, I need handle material too for that build. So then I just sent him a message. I was like, "Can you add this to that?" And then, all right, all good. So like, there's no dicking around on websites and this and that, and it's a good customer service for sure. He's a very knowledgeable
Yeah.
man, and you need something, and you need if you got a question on a product, you'll have answers. He'll guide you to the right place.
And if you need something in bulk,
That too.
like if he doesn't have it like enough in stock on the website or whatever, he'll just have it drop shipped right to you.
Yep. Like I remember when he was just first stocking regular like 1.5 and 2 inch wide steel, and I needed some wider steel, and he had none on site. And I was like, yeah, I need a couple bars of 4 inch bars, and all right, fucking next order they showed up, and I got my steel. And it wasn't anything on hand, but now you look at his site, and he's got every width pretty much on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 1084, it was 3/16 by 4 inches, and I needed 2 feet of it, so he had that available for me. Where else can you get all these random sizes? It's not the basic sizes that you could find on any other knife supply store. I think. Like,
Yeah, that's a hefty chunk of 1084.
yeah, it is. It's one hell of a cleaver too. That thing's like 13 inches overall length, and it's 7 inch blade. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, that thing's nasty. 3.5
Damn.
inches tall at the heel. It's got like a subtle K-tip to it. Pretty, it'll be interesting. It's one of 2 mono steel blades out of this next batch that I'm working on. The next batch,
Yeah, I saw it in the background of something you
yeah,
posted.
that next batch
It
is going to
was
be
sitting
pretty
there.
sick. Like, there's some interesting steels in there. Like, there's 2 Damascus. There's a wrought iron Sanmai. There's a stainless steel Sanmai, and then there's a Gomai in there that's got 225 layers on the jackets, pure nickel silver shims, and a 80 CRV core. That one's going to be pretty
Damn.
sick. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how that comes out.
You mentioned wrought iron there, and Lawrence is actually one of the few places where you can consistently find wrought iron
as well too. Yeah, I've been getting a bunch from all kinds of people. Like I'd like people sending me wrought iron, like it was available just there and everywhere all the time, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. And I got chain links.
Yeah.
I got not leaf springs, but wagon wheels. Like,
Oh, actually, yeah. Speaking of that, quick shout out to Timber Tiger. Timber Tiger
Oh,
Forge was selling some wagon wheels with
was
some
just
pretty
gonna say that.
sick, pretty sick looking wrought iron that he had. So if anybody's in the market for that, go check out him. He's got some cool stuff too.
I have some right here. It's got some really interesting grain in it. He sent me a chunk of titanium, and he's got this thick micarta sheets. I guess it's 5/8, maybe it's 3/4 inches thick, but it's a nice brown colored vintage micarta. And don't
Jeez.
go buy the micarta though, because I'm gonna scoff it up. I gotta message him.
I haven't heard or seen him in a while. It seems like on social media. I don't know. If it's just
Yeah, that's
think
just the
he-
algorithm screwing you over.
What was that?
So that's just the algorithm screwing you over.
Yeah, maybe.
I
I
think
was
he's
talking
been
to
busy.
I was
He's
talking-
got bars
ahead.
going to UK knife maker supplies and stuff now. Like people are ordering like
oh wow,
bulk production off him,
nice.
So,
well,
yeah,
good for him,
sure.
man. That's awesome.
making moves.
Right on. Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day, Rodney, the sharp carpenter, and we were DMing back and forth about something, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I just posted that," and I was like, "What?" And he sent me the reel, and I went back and was like, "I never even saw this when you posted it." It's like the freaking algorithm. It's like somebody that I talk to on a fairly regular basis. Like I don't see their stuff, but I see all like the random other little things, that just show up on Instagram that maybe I don't really want to see. But the people that I actually follow and keep up with, like it's not showing me their
Yeah,
stuff.
no, there's
So
sometimes
it's
I'm
kind
like,
of
I
annoying.
haven't seen them in a while. It's like, where are they at? What are they doing? Like, are they dead or are they still breathing? And then you go
And then-
look, and there's a bunch of content that you haven't seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're posting like 5 times a day, and
Yeah.
you just never see
Well,
it.
I had a good run. Like, what was it, yesterday or the day before? I don't know. I posted a bunch of reels and some pictures and pictures as reels, like 5 or 6 posts in one day. Barely nothing. Nothing. The only time I was getting traction in the past month on Instagram was when I was adding a house as a collab on the Forge videos, and while I was down there, and then my reels were getting like 3 to 6, 7,000 views. It's just ridiculous.
They're fucking us,
But
man.
you know how
They're
I see
fucking
it and
us.
how I feel about it, like because you know that whole quality over quantity. I'd rather my
Mm.
views come from actual followers. So even if I only got 900 views, well, I know 1/3 of my following watched my reel. You know what I'm saying? Because they're views that are generated from my followers. Because I'll scroll through who viewed it, and they're all followers. They're not just random accounts that seen a random reel that we click heart on. You know, when we see it, something like.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'd rather like those genuine views and likes. You know, like I said, 1/3 of my actual followers get to see the reel is good enough for me than having 30,000 people see a reel and them not follow me and not support my work or, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I can't remember what episode it was, but I was talking on here a while ago about how the YouTube algorithm. I think it was Dennis Tyrell was talking about how the YouTube algorithm works, and you put out a video and it kind of sees how your followers respond to it, and then it decides, based on how it does there, maybe then it'll send it out to show it to more people. And my kind of theory was that maybe that's how the Instagram algorithm works. And I paid attention to kind of how my reels did, and I can tell you that is not the case. I have no idea what the Instagram algorithm wants, because I had one video that had, I mean, tons for me, tons of comments on it from my followers, lots of engagement and everything like that, and it's 300-400 views. That's it.
Yeah.
It never got shown to anyone else. It was just shown to my followers, and I mean, they loved it, and I really appreciated all the support and the nice comments and everything. But it never went further than that. So I don't know what the algorithm
Yeah,
is or
they're all
does
wacky.
or
Even
wants.
like TikTok.
They
I edit videos on TikTok mainly, and people are like, well, why don't you post them on TikTok? And then I started posting them. Now that I post them every once in a while, they give me a guideline violation fucking warning. And now I got like 5 lined up since like December violations on TikTok. And it's just so weird because like it's me showing a knife blank, no grinds, no nothing on it, and it gets flagged. And then I'll show like 5 more videos of this different knives, but same video pretty much, and those are good. And my views on TikTok completely died out from like thousands to just 200-300, like out of nowhere. It's like they shadow banned me pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everywhere.
I've noticed if you show a blade, the video gets nothing. But if like I do videos of my handles, like the grain reveal, those ones always do pretty well. And if my face is in it for some reason, they love it.
And we're talking about Instagram again here, yeah?
I would have.
Yeah, I don't have TikTok. I'm fuck TikTok.
Well, I use it for video editing.
I'm gonna delete it.
I might do.
I don't even care about using it for editing anymore. I'm just gonna delete it. I think it's worthless.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna probably look around for something different where I could just edit one video and then there be no tags on it, whatever, and then just maybe put like a PK logo over the video, like a timestamp, not a timestamp, but watermark.
Yeah, that's probably a good plan.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just more shit to do, I guess, too. But it is what it is. I don't know. Things are changing. I was when I was down at Brian's, we were talking about other makers and like social media and all that. And Reddit, I guess, is one place to be. Like, there's some guys killing it on Reddit selling knives.
That's interesting. Shout out to One-Legged Coot Knives down in Malaga. He was talking to me the other day about how a friend of his, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the other knife maker's name.
Could be Mike by any chance?
No, it was Megalodon Knives, I think, over in Spokane, I believe. I just thought of that. But I guess she does a lot of business on Reddit, and I didn't think that was something that you could really do
I
on
had the
Reddit.
same thought you just had. Like, I was like, what? Reddit?
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So I was considering maybe trying that. Kind of feeling it out, seeing what it looked like. But do I really need another app?
No, I know, but if it could help business, then yeah. And there's
sure.
just so much other shit out there too that is to our disposal. Like we were messing around with Chat GTI or whatever that shit's called there.
Chat GPT.
Yeah, Chat GPT, and like I asked them to create an about section for my web page, and then they put out like this whole fucking text And then I was like, okay, well, can you add this to it? And then it just rewrote the whole text differently with what I wanted added there. And then I was like, all right, well, can you add this too? And after like 3 messages sent to the fucking chat thing, I had a whole about section for my website, so like shit like that too is available to our like to us to use free of charge, and it could make your web page that much more appealing with, good information. Yeah, you're Swan there. That's fucking hilarious. I should ask.
That's AI generated.
I should ask them to do a pickle.
I had my
Yeah, there
buddy
you
was
go.
messing around with it, and I said, "Ask it what Theo Vaughn would look like as a swan," and that's what it came back with. And I was like, "That's my new sticker. Got to be done."
Now I see the resemblance. That's fucking great.
It's freaking glorious.
I'm gonna try to have a pickle that looks like Joe Rogan done.
Nice.
Since he's bald and everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Pickle Rick too,
Yeah, Pickle Rick.
like from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Pickle Rick.
Yeah, this stress pickle. This is pretty. My nephew got me this for Christmas. It's like one of those stretchy stress ball thingies, and it's got sand in it. Well, the funny thing is a couple weeks ago, before I left for Florida, I had a customer that asked me what my mailing address was. The kids had a surprise for me, and when I got back from Florida, well, the surprise was another one of these. So now I own. What are the chances that these kids who've never met me, find it cool that there's this guy Pickle that makes knives for their father, and they got me that pickle and they wanted to send it out to me. So I appreciate that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, he was
That's awesome, dude.
Speaking of pickles, what's your favorite kind of pickle?
dill all the way.
Just the regular, straight up kosher
Yeah,
dill.
kosher dill all the way, dude. All day, every day, night long.
Me too.
Yeah. Like I've been on this.
You don't do those like spicy
Yeah, the
pickles?
spicy.
I like hot
Yeah, I like
pickles.
the spicy pickles as well too. Yes, don't get me wrong, but none of that bread and butter shit. That's weak sauce.
Oh no,
That's weak sauce.
no, that's awful.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even exist. But yes, definitely
No,
like
I
the
agree.
spicy ones, and like Grillo's got all these fancy pickles and shit too, and whatever. But yeah, those are good. Lately, I've been making these killer grilled cheeses with bacon and kosher dill pickle slices in them. Oh my god!
That sounds really good
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
dude,
I'm
like
hungry.
seriously, make one after the show, and you'll never have a grilled cheese with just cheese again. I swear to God.
Oh man.
Oh, I don't. Anyways, I don't really like cheese, so I mean, there's got to be something.
Well,
else
that's
in
why
there
I'm
for me
saying
to
the
wanna eat
bacon
it.
and the kosher dill pickle slices are just so good in there. Like, because a grilled cheese will
Yeah,
I do bacon and tomato
Well,
grilled cheeses with a little salt and pepper.
might as well throw some ketchup on there. What the fuck, dude?
What? Tomatoes are good, bro.
Oh, no, dude.
It's healthy.
Like I don't like tomatoes in like burgers and sandwiches or anything like that. I don't mind tomatoes.
you don't like burgers at
No,
all?
I like burgers, just no tomatoes on my burgers. Like they're just so
Oh,
sloppy
okay,
and
gotcha.
like watery, and I don't know. You take a bite out
Do
of
you
a
eat at
burger and it
Wendy's?
just slides right out, and that burger falls apart because of a fucking tomato. I'd rather not deal with it.
Tomato
Yeah,
sabotage.
it's like people take the pickles out of their burgers while I take fucking tomatoes out. Okay.
Okay, so speaking of pickles and burgers, so do you ever eat at Wendy's?
Well, we had a Wendy's here, and it's been closed for about 10 years. But yes, I would eat at Wendy's.
Okay, what do you think of the pickles on the Wendy's
They
burgers?
belong there. Pickles belong everywhere. Yeah,
Really?
even on pizza.
Well, I completely agree, but I never had a pickle on pizza. But man, the Wendy's pickles suck.
I never noticed because I was always gun hoed on like their jalapeno baconators was my favorite.
Okay.
So I can't really say that I've specifically tasted the pickles to say that they do suck. Like certain fast food joints
like-
have better fries than other places do.
Yeah.
I guess pickles could be the same thing too.
I like
Well, when you said like the bread and butter shit, I mean that's the first thing that came to my
what
mind
they
was the
have on
Wendy's
there.
pickles.
Okay, yeah, I never paid.
That's what they taste like, anyways.
I don't know. Like I said, I was always into the baconator with jalapenos, so that was my
Yeah, it overpowered it.
they need to make like the perfect fast food restaurant that's like Wendy's burgers, Burger King's fries, and McDonald's nuggets.
Fuck McDonald's. You could leave McDonald's out.
McDonald's nuggets are awesome, dude.
I like their
Dude,
nuggets. That's it.
I've worked at the slaughterhouse up here. Like I live in the chicken capital of the world, pretty much. And without getting into
Has it
details.
burnt down?
No, not ours, not yet. But Jesus, no. But yeah, I've seen how they make this meat, and same thing with hot dogs and everything else. And no, McDonald's nuggets are not the best.
The pink slime.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
my
the videos of how they
father-in-law-
make that shit is sad, man. When they take like a bucket of chicks, like little baby chicks, and into the fucking
Plus, it
shredder.
was all carcass and necks, chicken carcass and chicken necks, just in big bins thrown into this big meat grinder, and it'd come out, and we'd fill out 50-pound fucking totes of pig
Fucking
slime,
bones and all,
bones
dude.
and marrow,
Bones
whatever.
and all.
There's nothing like there's no meat on a hot dog or a chicken nugget. Like unless they change the recipe, there's no meat. It's just Sorry, folks, but yeah.
Yeah.
I see Noah's face, and he's like, "I had hot dogs for lunch."
I've found like a hard spot in McDonald's nugget before and been like, wonder what that was.
Cartilage right there.
Yeah. Piece
You
of
guys want to
beef.
do some fake news stories?
What's in your nugget?
All right. Well, yeah. Let's switch gears here. Let's do a little bit of fake news.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. So we still don't have a stinger for this because I suck. But basically, this is the segment of the show where I read off 3 headlines that were sent to me. Pickle, Ryan, and you people at home are going to have to guess which one is fake, which one is false fake news. Here we go. The headline reads, "Alligator with knife in its head found swimming in Florida lake." Woman arrested for training squirrels to attack her ex-boyfriend.
This is a different story. You're putting the headlines out. Then we got
Yep. 3 separate
we'll do
headlines.
one
and then
at
you
a
guys can
time
guess at
because
the end.
I'll forgot the first one because I already did.
Okay. First one. Alligator with knife in its head found swimming in Florida lake.
That's got to be true. I would not be surprised.
Woman
That's
arrested
not
for
surprising.
it's not too far out there. Next one. Woman arrested for training squirrels to attack her ex-boyfriend.
That sounds something that would happen in Vermont. So I'm gonna go with fake news. Oh no, wait, this has nothing to do with Florida anymore, right? Like this is not a Florida man skit.
These are from all over.
Okay. So it's not a matter of where. It could still happen in Vermont, though.
And the last one reads, "Naked man terrorized Des Moines hotel by swinging toilet plunger, pulling fire alarms."
Definitely true. I've seen shit like that happen.
Second,
Not that specific situation, but yeah, that could happen.
second one's fake. That's my guess.
But no, I'm gonna actually say the second one would be fake. Yes.
All right, so alligator with knife in its head, woman arrested for training squirrels to attack her ex-boyfriend, and a naked man terrorizing a hotel by swinging a toilet plunger and pulling fire alarms. You guys are both saying that the squirrel training is the fake news out of all these 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, you're all
Oh
correct.
shit!
Wow.
See, I have a feeling you made this easy because I was here. And So
No, he just felt bad because I always get them wrong.
Actually, no. I just went to the last 3 that were sent to me. So the alligator with the knife in its head. That one was sent to me by many people, many. So I appreciate everyone who sent me that story. But Brigham was the first, so thank you, Brigham. The woman arrested for training squirrels was sent by OLC Knives. Thank you, David. And the naked man terrorizing the Des Moines hotel was sent by Steve Grillo. So thank you,
Mr. Grillo.
Fuck yeah.
Appreciate
say
all
we
of you
do,
contributing to the show.
Phoenix Abrasives real quick.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Hustle and Grind podcast is sponsored by Phoenix Abrasives, your one-stop abrasive shop. When you go to phoenixabrasives.com, click the shop icon in the upper right-hand corner to find all the abrasives you'll ever need. Check out the Incinerator 36 grit ceramic belts, along with the Trizact Gator belts that the hosts of Hustle and Grind use every day. When you check out, use code HUSTLE10 for 10% off your entire order.
Booyah.
Thanks, Luke.
What's up, Luke?
I love how chill Luke sounds in that one. It just for 10% off your entire order.
He's got a very Casey Kasem vibe.
Yes, he does.
Do you remember Casey Kasem?
I don't.
You don't? He was like a very famous top 40 with Casey Kasem. Like he had a very unique voice. I can't do it.
Neither could I. I don't have a
I'll
voice
bet Luke
for
could.
radio.
That dude's good with voices.
I know we gotta squeeze in the Patreon pitch somewhere on here and
Do it.
do the Kermit the Frog one. He sent us like 6 examples and it was all different accents and one of them was Kermit the Frog.
Please, for the love of God, throw in the Kermit the Frog one just like right at the end or something.
Jeez, I wonder if I could add it right now.
You don't have this loaded up?
No. I
Free bag.
downloaded. I know, right? I downloaded it on my phone. Luke.
So Pickle,
Yeah.
what's the weather like there,
It
buddy?
was cold as fuck this morning and yesterday again. Like,
You sent me a picture of like a ridiculous amount of snow a while ago. You still have all that
Yeah.
snow there?
yeah, some of it, while I was gone, it did warm up a bit, and there's like a day where a lot of snow melted, but then we got frozen over again. And, there's no significant melting of snow going on right now anytime soon, and we're getting another storm this coming week. So, there's, like, for our annual snowfall, probably I'd say over 10 feet of snow so far. We've had a
Gee.
lot of snow. Like the backyard at the neighbor's backyard is like completely fenced in, and the fence is like 5 feet high, and there's snow flush to the top of the fence. So that's good 5 feet there, and that's not counting everything else that melted. Like at the beginning of the winter, those 2 like 18-inch dumps that we got that rained over, and those melted away. But out in the mountains where it didn't rain, when it rained here, there's got to be at least damn near close 10 feet of snow.
Jeez,
So-
yeah, we probably. Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
Speaking of our patrons, sorry guys. I was just looking at something. We got 2 new patrons.
Wow.
Devin Sloat. Oh, where'd it go? It dropped out. Hold on. All right, I got it. We've got Alexander Sloat of Devlin Forge, thank you, and Brian Hunt of Hidden Rose Forge are our 2 newest patrons. And I've got the Kermit. And so this is going to be our new Patreon pitch every episode at some point.
Right on.
You're listening to the Hustle and Grind podcast, a podcast for all the makers out there hustling and grinding every day to turn their dreams into reality. If you'd like to show your support, you can go to patreon.com/hustle and grind. For as little as $1 a month, you can help us all keep hustling and grinding. And remember, every time H&G gets a new patron, an angel gets wings.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't go with that one.
Hopefully you guys could hear that. It was a little on the quiet side, but that was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, I'll have to make the audio louder on whichever one we pick.
Good stuff. Well, thank
But-
you to our new patrons, and thank you to all of our patrons who support us on there to help pay for production costs and everything for the show. We really appreciate you guys doing that and helping us out.
Sticking in there with us.
Yeah, stick it.
Yeah. Nice.
With a K.
Wow.
Wow.
Luke's great. Luke does all of our voiceovers except for the Ameribraid ad.
Is Lucas real?
And that's Luke. Yeah, it's Luke Johnson of Crafty Man Forge with a K.
right on.
So everybody go follow him. And if you need voiceover work done, he's your guy.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Well, was there anything else you guys wanted to get on this show?
Can we go there? Or is this like
Sure.
PG? No, I'm just kidding. No, like I said, I've been it's been a winter of somewhat snowboarding this winter and busy in the shop in Florida, and I might be going back down there in like a month or so before Blade Show. Ryan, aren't you going to Blade Show this year?
I am. My taxes should be back next week, and I'm going to buy my plane ticket. I'm going down the 1st and coming back the 5th.
Nice. What about you, Noah?
So
I'm planning on it.
Nice.
As long as everything lines up, we should be good to go,
That'd be
man.
cool. Same
we're hoping to get in on any B&B action that might be going down this year.
D&B.
Yeah, remember last year they rented an Airbnb for one. And
Okay, yeah. I think Maximus has got one going on. I think Brian's is pretty much full. Who else? Or somebody else? Fuck, I forgot. But I think there was somebody else too getting a house down there.
Well, I think we're hooked up right now. I think we should be good at the moment. So as long as nothing falls through, we should be all right.
Yeah, and I'm not overly social, so nobody expect me to be in the pit till 2 a.m.
Yeah,
because I fucking can't stand drunk people, and I fucking don't like crowds.
We'll be getting high the whole time, Ryan. We'll be good. I was literally walking around the fucking pit. Like, I did get drunk. I blame that on Dennis Tyrell because, like, he kind of got me going. He showed up with a drink and, like, beer for me, and 5 minutes later, he showed up with another beer. And I only had, like, 2 sips on my first beer taken. He's like, what the fuck? I thought you were Canadian. So he hands me another beer, and he turns around and walks away. So I chugged that first beer, like literally within 10 seconds it was gone. And I chugged half of the second beer. I go to the bar and I go get another beer and another drink, and I walk up to Dennis like not even 5 minutes later. I was like, here's another drink, man. And he looks at me and he's like, fuck, what did I do? So it was that back and forth.
You started it, man.
It was that back and forth all night, the first night in the pit. And I was walking around with my vape pen too. And I was feeling pretty good there. I'm glad when Brian showed up, I was like, all right, we're heading out. And I was like, yes, let's head out before I do anything crazy here. But yeah, that was a blast.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like kind of like how you feel you're saying, Ryan, like you're not too social. Like I used to be probably the most social guy out there and always had to be around people. Now I could get away with not seeing anybody for months and be fine. And going to Blade Show was kind of nerve-wracking for me at first. I was like, I didn't know if I was going to go because I didn't know how I was going to react being in that big of a crowd after all these years of being isolated. And it turned out it was fucking amazing. It was so easy. Everybody's on the same page. Like, everybody's there for the same reason, and it's all good. Like, it's just good vibes, like good mojo, and there's no bad being there. And like, I was able to really go there and be comfortable and not have to worry about anything stupid.
I'm excited to spend a irresponsible amount of money there.
Yeah, like I did good the whole first 2 days I was there, and then I just went on a splurge. Like, I had bought nothing, and then as soon as I bought one thing, I had eyed everything that I liked and wanted. And then I just went back around and I filled up my backpack. That was a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna I'm thinking about doing like a kitchen set raffle, like making a whole set and raffling it off to help cover Blade.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got 3 knives out of my next batch that are going to be available that I want to get out there to build up some funds and put that aside for Blade. Exactly. And more work too coming out that's going to be available. Like, I'm trying to put out orders and available blades at the same time too, not just put out orders. Because if I were to just work on orders and no orders come in, I'm not making any money because my orders are all paid for in advance. So
yeah, that's something I run into where like all your customs come at once and your books are full.
yeah. Well,
and then like,
who owns those books? You do, right? So you do what the fuck you want with them. Like, I give my customers a 6 to 8 month timeline. And if I feel like making their knives 2 months after I told them 6 to 8 months, I'll make it because that's the project that I'm intrigued on making at the moment. If I don't feel like making any customer knives that week, I'm just going to throw out available blades. like it's my schedule, it's my books. I do whatever I want with them, and customers are usually pretty okay with it as long as you don't go past that whatever timeline you told them. And
Yeah.
nobody's ever waited the full amount of time either, because like I say, I juggled my list around because like if I got like for Christmas I had 4 blades of the same blade to make, and just making those 4 blades was ridiculous for me. Like I had the hardest time making 4 blades of the same design. And I had to throw in some other shit in there too, just to change the mindset while I'm working on these projects. That I look forward to working on something different in the process of this batch. So
Yeah.
that's what I do all the time. I don't care if they all come in at once. If I'm just overwhelmed with the orders, or I'm not feeling it at the moment, I make what I feel like I want to make, and everybody's happy so far. So keeps me going.
Yeah. Sometimes I
makes sense.
find myself like I can't bring myself to work on something I have to work on, so I'll put on like handle material projects or like clean that bench or like just to tell myself I did
Break the
something.
cycle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. Next time you could come clean my bench up if you want.
No, a lot of shit ends up in the trash when I clean.
I have one of those big 50-gallon garbage bags. Like I put one out maybe twice a week from my shop, like just out in the corner, and I throw shit in there, and then next thing I notice my garbage can's full, so I empty that in there too. And it just adds up so quick in a small shop, like all this trash and garbage and like shit comes in boxes. Like where am I supposed to put all these boxes? My fire pit's not out, so it's like I'm cutting up boxes, putting them in the recycling bin because the fire pit's not there and I'm not burning anything. So it's just small shop problems, I guess.
Yeah.
That and old belts take up so much room in the garbage can.
I've stopped saving them.
Those,
I fucking broke the cycle.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to use it then that minute, I throw it right in the trash.
See, that's
I'm like,
Well, yeah,
fuck.
but it just takes up so much
Yeah.
space.
I got probably
like,
about
Yeah.
like
I could
60
fill up a
belts.
garbage can so quick with used belts.
I got like 60 belts probably hanging at random places in my shop that are not with the fresh belts, that are like belts that I like. I'll go through them trying to find like a decent grit belt to do a fresh grind or something like that, and I end up taking a new belt off the wall anyways, and then I'll go back to this belt later, and then like a month later I'm like, oh look, a fresh fucking 60 grit belt that I haven't finished using here. I could have used it many times before, but it just stays in the pile. And then you start cleaning up that pile, and then you start picking through the pile to save belts again. It's like there's nothing you can do about it, I guess. I don't know. It's a true how could I say it?
Conundrum.
Yeah. We'll say that. One of those.
It's like hoarding kind of mildly.
Yeah, it is. It's an obsession.
I do that shit with wood, like firewood, because I burn wood in here too. I'm like, oh, that log has potential.
Yeah.
And I'll fucking stick it upstairs. There's so much firewood upstairs in my garage that was like split for firewood. And I'm like, oh, look at the grain in that one. Like,
When I was into woodworking, years ago, like maybe 10 or so years ago, my ex-fiance, her father and her grandfather and all them, they all heated with wood. And we go down in the wood stove area for cigarettes, and I'd always be going through the piles, cords of wood to try to find like some bird's eye or fucking any kind of crazy maple or grains in there. And I would turn wooden shooter glasses out of fucking logs, and taking firewood and turning them into money. That was pretty cool.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That was
But
good save on burning some good material, because like I said, people up here and in Maine, we just cut maple and we burn it. We don't look at wood grain and, like, oh, this ain't going to burn right. It's bird's eye. No, we just burn it. And for the longest time, it was considered sick, diseased wood, and they wouldn't even cut it in the logging industry. They would leave it up there. And now they're hunting it because it's considered an exotic wood. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's how I've gotten so many burls
Yep.
because tree cutters don't give a fuck about
No,
them.
same. One of my
And-
friends, he's woodworking business, and he's hooked up with Irving, and they call him up, come pick up some burls, and he's literally got tons of burls that come in like every other month. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see it, See that one?
I could see something. Yeah,
Oh.
your camera's foggy.
Yeah. It's that big round thing on the floor next to the
There
cart.
you go. Now we see it.
Jeez, that's huge.
It's a red
Oh,
oak.
nice.
She's getting slabbed up this weekend. I've started stabilizing that huge silver maple burl I blocked up this summer. Yeah, that
Nice.
bandsaw is going to come in handy. That silver maple is something fucking beautiful.
I bet. I'm gonna want some of that cherry and some of that maple when you're done stabilizing that.
Yeah, I got to dig out the cherry and start getting that back through the pot. But I'm running low on cactus juice, so
You know where you could get that, right?
Maritime Knife Supply.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But
All right, guys, what do you say we call it
Let's
a show?
call it a show
let's do it.
before I start getting vulgar.
Thanks for listening.
Peace out.
Have a good week.
Goodbye. What the fuck? It says failed to stop recording. I guess we're stuck here forever, boys.
Oh no. It failed.
Stop. It says failed to stop. How do you fail to stop recording?
It's probably my fault.
Stop recording, motherfucker. Wow. It's never done this before. Interesting.
What's this bubble? And I'm sure if you just close it, it's not going to save.
No. Wait a moment. If the problem persists, try refreshing the page. All right. Refresh.
Oh no.
No, I'm not doing that. It says changes may not be saved. Why is this happening?
Look at Noah.
You're a fucking whore.
No. This was not meant to be.
Dude.
Noah, you look frightened.
I'm terrified. So, Ryan, at the bottom where there's the little sound waves, next to
Yeah.
your name, the dot that's usually green has been orange for most of the recording.
User is experiencing
says-
some connection issues, but recording is being saved locally.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
It's green on my end. Which Wi-Fi am
I
I
see
connected
that.
to? 5G.
So it says
What
it's being
in the
saved
fuck?
locally.
Is Ryan frozen?
Yeah, he is. Either that or
Fuck.
he's
Why do you hate me?
constipated and trying really hard to take a shit
Stop
right
it.
now.
Close. It wants me to refresh.
All right, well, I got to pee. I'll be
Yeah.
right back. Hopefully this gets figured
Yeah,
out.
we'll see what happens. Yo, you're back.